Hey everybody, this is Roxy, and I have some more the mini composition books from the Dollar Tree. They're 3 for $1. I ran out and couldn't find any, so my dear friend Eiley Burkett sent me 2 packs, and I squealed with delight when I opened up the package because I had no idea what it was. So thank you so much, Eiley, because they're not anywhere to be found right now. At least last week they weren't, maybe hopefully now. But anyways, so I used a bunch of photos from my stash. As everybody knows, I collect vintage photos, and this was 2 brothers standing in front of a big, huge evergreen. Obviously, one is graduating, the other one is super cool. I just love this one. Especially, I mean, he's just like such a soul man, you know. So anyways, I used this paper from Michaels. There's not a name for it. It's just paper pad. Oh wait, what's up here? I might be lying. Nope, it's just the Made in China. So, I don't know why they wouldn't have named this. The other ones are all named. But it's kind of just that boho. Look where you can see it. So I'm going to move this tome out of the way. It is heavy and big and distracting. So here's my little guys, my little books. Oops. There. So again, that's the 2 boys. And this is from, the paper pad has a few different, well actually at least 2 different sheets of like, I don't know if we call them journal spots or just little sheets like this. And this is really thin paper, so it works great for these little books. You just got to be careful when you're gluing to use teeny amount of glue. So there's that thing, but then I used those for like this, Dream Big, and then I I stamped out How to Succeed, and then did one of my little tags. Just do it on both sides. And then on the back, put another one of those things and some washi tape. So there's that one. And this is another 2 boys. I don't know if they're the same boys. They kind of look like them, only, I don't know, maybe a little older. Because I do get it, like sometimes I'll find a bunch of photos maybe from one album that's in a basket at a antique store and go through them and pick out what I like. So anyways, these 2 guys were standing in front of a house with their 70s. I mean, I've got a picture of my husband with these pants on, and everybody had these striped pants, striped jeans. They were so cool. So this is just radiate positive vibes. And peace is always beautiful. And I just did some washi on the back. I love this paper line. It's pretty fun. And then this is my favorite. I've used this in so many projects. I don't even know where I know I found it at a antique store in Minneapolis, and I was just so glad because I put it down thinking, what am I going to do with 2 little girls with lunch bags and name tags, you know, coming home from school? And it's like, duh, everything. And I have. So they're just really cute. And what I did with these, my last batch, I actually printed all my photos at Office Depot so that I could get laser prints and watercolor. I didn't have time to go do that again, so I printed these off with my inkjet printer, and I just used colored pencils on them. And they colorize just fine. This is the one that was watercolored. You know, you can color a little more freely, I suppose, but I think this worked out fine. And then I just edged everything with Distress ink. These I just love, the little tag. Isn't that cute? And then Born Amazing. So that's kind of a teacher gift. This could be a teacher gift too for an art teacher. I love this photo so much. Oh my gosh, I love it. Isn't she adorable? So like professional. And then I just stamped this out. And this tag, I took the wire thing out and just braided it right to their eyelet thing right to the book. Beauty shines from within. And this one I ran out of juice. This was my last one. But I really like this. All who wander are not lost. Not all who wander are lost. And I love the papers and the... This was this is from Glitz. This one I made this cover my last batch and ran out of juice then and just left it. And then this time I thought, well, why would I just leave it sit there? And I have all these cute little things, so I just threw this on. No tags. And then I love this little girl on roller skates with her little chubby legs. This is how we end up. We start out with chubby little legs, and by the end of our life, we've got the same little legs. Isn't that cute? Wild child. She's so cute and wild and free. And then this is my favorite. I found this picture at our twice yearly flea market out at the state fair. And it was only $15 and it was the best $15 we ever spent. He's not only riding a tricycle with a party hat, but he's smoking a corncob pipe. So it's just the most hilarious. I think it's got to be a circus dog, you know, but like the picture's bigger than this. I cropped it. And it's just these weird, like, old walls and doors, because it's about, I think it shows about 2 more doors kind of in the picture. So then I just never give up, and then I typed or stamped never ever, kind of like in honor of Winston Churchill. So there's that one. And then this is my all-time favorite, best photo in the world of happiness. Is that not the cutest thing you've ever seen? I mean, they both are outshining each other in their smile. These are the little wooden things from Michael's. And this was blue, and it was green, it was pink, and it kind of didn't show up, so I colored these black, and that really screwed them up. So then I gessoed them and tried painting them with some paint markers, and that just took off the gesso, went back to the black, so I just went over it with my gold leaf pen. And then I just kind of did some ziggy. I did doodling on most of them. But I love that picture. And a perfect little, what's that? Little goober. Perfect little saying for these guys. So there's that. And then I was going to show how to, they're so easy and they're so much fun. Once you get going, your mind just gets, you just get crazy. So just grab some of your favorite papers, and these really helped a lot for this second batch. You know, because once you make a bunch, you kind of run out of steam. I do. But these helped a lot for this batch because the photos were so, I wanted to do quirky photos. I think my last batch was more like outdoors and, whatever. Bathing suits, bathing beauties. So these helped immensely with this. But you can still, this would be really cool. That'd be perfect. In fact, I think I'm going to use that. So, I'm going to cut this out. I could use my cutter and get it perfect, but I'm not gonna. Trust the universe to be kind of cool too. Alright, so then what you do, the paper cover is 4.5 inches by a little over 6.5. So I usually go like 6 1/4 or 6 3. Yeah, I would go 6 3/4. I like this one. The front cover, there's not going to be a lot of the polka dot showing because I'm going to leave her height and width. Okay, so I'm just going to cut this out. So I'm just going to go 6 3/4, a little over, because you can always cut it off. And 4 1/2. I just do a titch over just to be on the safe side. And then for the adhering it, with this paper I would not use Mod Podge. I usually do, but that's with heavier cardstock. This would be a mess with Mod Podge. And it also would be kind of a mess with glue, so I use my ATG gun. But the weird part is ATG won't go on that, so you're going to have to, what I ended up doing was ATGing. See, look at that, it's already driving me nuts. I swear, I think ATG is like, I don't know if they changed their formula or what. But it's not being the best student lately. Because once, well, I'm just going to do this. I'm not going to start babbling. Okay, we just got to pull the glue up. And then I just open this up. And just do both ends too. And then just make sure all the tape is not going around to the back. But it's the weirdest thing, it won't go on that black. So then what I do is get out my trusty glue and just do some glue on there. Excuse me. Not thick, just keep it thin. Okay, and then just line this up. Whoops, I'm losing my camera. My coffee's in the way. Sorry about that. Okay. And then just make sure it's nice and covered and straight. See how it's going to be over a little bit? I want that because then you got a little more fudge factor. And then you just kind of make sure that doesn't stay glued down. And then curve it, cut it, and curve it. Oops, am I even showing it? There. So you just got to cut the corners then. Curve the corners whenever. This can be trimmed a little. Like I'm cutting it with my feet, going around this camera thing. All right, so then you could distress this, but I'm just gonna quick do this. So okay, then you just want to glue this up, and this you want to kind of get enough glue on because it's a thicker 65 or 110, I think. It's either 65 or 110. Stick that on. And then you got to think of something to say about it, maybe. The other ones I did like Go Fish and my girlfriend, it's a long story, but she always used to say it's a big one. And I kind of would like to use that because it's kind of a fishing turn. And it is a big one. Did catch a nice sized fish. So then I'm going to do a teensy bit of glue. And then put this on the back. See, it bubbles a little bit, but you can always hide washi tape over. I've got that Fleetwood Mac Go Your Own Way song swirling in my head. I've had Purple Rain in my brain for a week now, over and over again. Earwig. And that covered up the American Idol, that one, Trent. Him singing Chandelier, that was in my ear. My little earworm, or what do they call it, earworm? For 2 weeks. So hopefully this will cover up the prints, because you know how you get that? Oh, it drives me nuts, because the minute I wake up, I'm singing the song in my head. And it's the same line over and over and over again. So I like these little washies from Dollar Tree, because they really had a nice little, not too much, just a tiny little accent of pattern. Just finding the end. Okay, and then I will be right back. Okay, so I gathered up my little things. I'm just gonna find my little I just like, you know, you don't have to do this part. I kind of like it. Especially with these vintage photos. Excuse me. Oh, these allergies. Alright, then I think I'm going to use one of these tags. I bought these at Office Depot. They're just white tags, and then I just soaked them in. I just, you know, whatever coffee was left in my pot, I threw some boiling water, or just hot water with it, and then let them soak. And look what's cool about it. Some of the strings kind of laid over it, and I kind of like that. Turned out pretty cool. Alright, and then I'm going to use, this is the Crocodile 3 main squeeze. I think you can find them on eBay, but they're discontinued. So I'm just going to cut a little tag out of this. And it takes a lot of manpower. Oh, all your strength there. It is one. My friend gave me this, and we were trying to get it to work, and we couldn't get it to work. Well, we weren't doing it hard enough. It's like both of us were just, oh my goodness, you can't even punch it, but because we weren't going the extra hard. So I think I'm gonna do awesome. Stamp out awesome on here. And if you want perfection with these little stamps, you're not gonna get it. So if you're a perfectionist, do not even attempt this, because there's just no way, unless you use a whatchamacallit, thingamajig, it's actually what it's called, you're never going to get this perfect, because they're so, cheaply made that they aren't really on the rubber right. Like look at that. It's like all hanging off the edge. That's how I feel sometimes. Hanging off the edge. See? You little bugger. That's because the rubber is goofy. There. All right. Just wiping these off. So I promise I won't put them all away while you sit there and bored to tears. Okay, then just gonna clip that on with, this was a best little buy. I found these at I was at a Stampin' Up thing. One of those where you make a bunch, and I like that with their pants. And they were like $1.50. I bought them about 6 years ago, and I've used them a lot. But it's like they keep growing. All right, so then I want to make sure that the paper's not there, and use the 3/16 and just punch a hole wherever, kind of in, and then connect. Oh, see, this got the wrong hole. Got to punch a bigger hole in there. Okay. Let's shove that baby in there. Okay, I gotta do this up here. Just gotta get your fingernails. And then you want this at A2, your little blocky thing, and just make sure it's nice and straight. Give it a good pinch. And there's that. And I think I'm gonna tie some jute. You know what would be fun is this string I got. Oh, yeah! This is from the Dollar Tree, too. It's nice, old-fashioned string. Kind of hinty looking. Love your packaging some days. And then we got tape on here. Ooh, it's cool. It's thinner than normal. I'm just gonna wrap this baby around, maybe down here. Cut a lot off, I don't need that much. Okay, I gotta tie this right here, I think in the front, or on the side, so you don't lose the picture. There. Totally awesome. Big fish. So that is how easy these little books are. They are so much fun to make, and you really can just get your creativity going. I would, if you don't already do the vintage picture thing, that is really inspiring because I think it just makes you kind of think like fun little thoughts about them. And I love getting photos and collecting them because you kind of want to think about their story, they're just fun to collect. So there's all my little books, and I hope you give it a try. Thanks for watching. Bye.